I trademarked the name so nobody would steal it from me. And
Right.
that's a very important business lesson that many have tried. I trademarked it and I made it a nonprofit because I was wanted to help designers who did not have those same financial resources showcase. And we try to do it at a level that competes with New York, so they don't feel like they're getting a cheaper version of it. And I think we've been very successful with that. We have seen countless designers come and tell us that they've done DC Fashion Week and some of the other larger city platforms and did not get the same reception. So we're proud of that. I have a great, amazing team.
Mm. So when did you start? When was the very first show? When did DC Fashion Week start? Launch?
September 2003. That was, so we're celebrating our 37th season in February. We execute twice a year during February and September. We normally follow New York in terms of the fashion calendar. Normally like the third week in those months. And we just look for bigger and better things. We differ from other fashion weeks in the fact that we've always been diverse. That's one. We use a large number of models, over 100 every season. Um, we have each showcases in a different venue that highlights DC's rich culture, which is great versus having it just in one place every day. You get to see different parts of the city, and we move around from everywhere from the National Archives, the World Bank, the Museum of France, just the Navy Yard, the bridge. Just DC has a lot of exciting and unique venues, and we like showcasing them.
Yeah, absolutely. So you work with almost pretty much 100 models.
At least minimally. So the last season we did maybe roughly about like 170 um, actually in the showcase. We have close to 1,000 registered each season. The numbers have stuck around 500 for a while, but this last season, I guess everybody wanted to come out since the pandemic, so we had a record number of models. It was just so challenging. I wanted to keep the number to roughly about 80, but we just had so much great talent, so many diverse looks that we just said, hey, we're going to give all them, we're going to give all these the strongest people an opportunity.
Right.
And you'll see that it's reflected on our website. You'll see the different types of models, different ages. I think maybe our oldest model is maybe 70, and she had a body that rivaled a 15-year-old. So I mean,
Oh,
it's
wow.
amazing, amazing.
See, never give up on your dreams, guys.
Never.
Get out of the narrative. Anybody can do it as long as you can think it, you can will it, you can do it.
Right,
Wow.
right.
So real quick, just because I'm sure people are really intrigued with DC Fashion Week and some of like the behind the scenes and what goes on in putting on a major production, because that's huge. And for you to be as successful as you are for as long as you've been doing it is amazing. So okay. So just briefly, I know I don't want to spend too much time on this, but kind of give me the behind the scenes of when DC Fashion Weeks, let's just say the spring summer collection starts or fall winter collection starts. What is the very beginning process and what do you kind of do, just briefly just telling me what you do throughout to the very end? Like what does it take?
So the first step is after the last fashion week, we get a lot of inquiries on when are you coming back. So
Mm,
we gather all that information. We set the dates, we set the venues. We start the registration process, which started last month for designers. In May, it'll be for the volunteers, glam squad, press, and all the buyers, all other parties that help bring fashion together. After the registration process is going through, we do a model selection, we do a model casting. We have the designers that have already registered come in and help select the models if they want to reflect their collection. Our volunteers come and assist. They want to do it for community service, also fulfilling their college credits, and also just really trying to learn the industry hand on with an actual designer that's doing something, or with actual models, makeup artists actually wanting to build their portfolios. Then we have the shows. The showcases are comprised of different genres. So we have emerging show, which is fun, exciting, everything from t-shirts to athletic wear to cocktail dresses. Our international couture show are for our more seasoned designers and really reflects their culture from around the world. So it can be somebody that's from Largo and somebody from Paris, France. It can be from all over. So it's always exciting to see the international designers and the local designers on the same platform because they learn and share ideas from each other, things like that. And of course, the media, they help capture the event and they share the news so that when we get ready for the next cycle, more people are coming to be a part of it. But I have a great team. My director of photography catches all phenomenal images. That's Falon Mark. Our Our media partnership, our magazine, gets the word out about the events and the schedule. Of course, all our publications to that. Our stage manager, April, she puts the models in order. She makes sure the flow of the show is executed properly. Her assistant, Dominique. We have our stylist, Chris, and I'm sure, and Portia, my main assistant. They do their part. Our music director. It's a whole team. It takes the whole village, but they all have their parts. They're all are exceptionally important. Our lead makeup artist, Nat Evans, our lead hairstylist, Seven Salon. So we have these great industry professionals who have worked with. Everyone loves, to drop celebrity names. They've done a number of celebrity clients, but they lend their talents to DC Fashion Week to give our models the best experience, our designers the best experience they can have here in the nation's capital.
Right. So how do you determine which designers will be in your fashion shows?
Well, fortunately, we get referrals, which is great. Secondly, most designers, when they see the platform and what we've done, those who are clearly qualified are the ones that apply. Sometimes we get those that don't qualify. We'll make suggestions in terms of their craftsmanship or what they can do to improve and make it better show ready for them. And then sometimes we've had designers that we thought were show ready and then they get there and they're not, and we have to make them wait. It's unfortunate. It's like, well, boo, that's not going on the runway.
Right.
So, but normally we get to see that before, like at the fitting and stuff, to see that everything is still in line, because we want to make sure that our public is getting the best talent that we can showcase that season as well. So most people, it's like for anything. You don't go into a Lamborghini dealership unless you can buy one. So unless they're ready. So we're fortunate to be in that position that our designers are amazing. Our youngest designer is like 5 years old, and she did a great collection. She's like our oldest designer in her 80s. So it varies.
Right. Now with the models, say for instance, you have someone that wants to do DC Fashion Week. She wants to walk in it. She's been wanting to walk in it for the last 10 years. She's ready. She's of age. She comes to you and she does not know how to walk. Do you offer classes or some type of assistance for the models that really aren't ready?
We critique and because it should be natural for you. So let's say you walk and there's some things that need to be fixed. I'm going to give you instruction on that. We're going to let you walk again, and hopefully you'll be able to take it to heart. Sometimes it works out. We have model coaches that are willing to help and assist. Sometimes we refer them to them before the audition for Fashion Week. But yeah, if they don't have it, they're just not going to walk. That's just not going to happen. We wouldn't do our designers that injustice because designers, as you can relate, work really hard. You wait for that one moment. You have roughly 30 seconds per outfit on that runway, and you want to capture it in the most perfect moment, and you don't want to sit there with broken needles and fingernails, and you want it right. So you can't afford to have that misstep. Of course, even the supermodels make mistakes on the runway, but you have to have the fundamentals. And for us, it's personality over everything, because we can see from, with hair, our glam squad can make Sasquatch look like Miss Universe. So I'm not saying we get Sasquatches. I'm just saying. But the look, that's the easy part. It's the personality and professional attitude. And we get a lot of models who've done many great things to work on the platform. And they look great, they walk well, but it's that personality that just not working. We don't want the energy around our designers.
Absolutely. Is there a certain height restriction that you have for the models? Or you're like, if they can walk, or they need to have the height and they have to walk?
We have a preference. So our preference is the industry standard 5'9" to 5'11". We'll consider as short as 5'7". It's extremely rare for us to go up under that. Sometimes the model just brings it. They have the energy, they have the look. They may have 10-inch heels. They do what it needs to be done to make that part happen. So if it does, we're happy for them. And we'll let the ultimate decision be by the designers, because they know how they want their brand represented. So they have the option of sending us models before even they register and say, hey, this is somebody I think I'll be interested in working with. And that helps them. That helps in their favor as well.
How do the designers determine because you have 170 models, let's say, how do the designers determine who will walk in their show?
So what they do is we have all the models walk for all the designers. Once they do that, the models are assigned their numbers, not their names or anything like that. So it's just strictly, I want model number 13, model number 75 or whatever. And then if that's what they want, we let them fit them in and walk in the show. So many of the designers were shared. Like you may have one model, she may walk for 20 labels that season, or another model may only walk for one.
Mm. Yeah. So that model pretty much needs to bring it. And
well, it could be that, it could be the fit, it could just be that the other models just had something different. It happens. Recently we had a model, she looked like Claudia Schiffer. I thought she was just the most beautiful little thing walking. And I said, you should really try out for Fashion Week. And she did. And just beautiful girl, average runway walk. So, nothing to write to mom about, but it was the first time. So that's perfectly acceptable. But not one designer picked her. And it was just really shocking.
Wow.
I just thought everyone would just snatch her up. And then we have another model who's a little more, urban with her walk, which is fine. It's like Naomi Campbell on steroids. And they absolutely love her. And she walked for like almost everybody. So it's that personality. And we, again, the designers, they're the clients. We want them to be satisfied with who represents their brand. So
right.
if you walk on the runway, trip and fall and do somersaults, that's what the designer wants. We'll try to make it happen for them.
Makes sense.